January 3rd, 2014. January 3rd, 2014. Welcome aboard. We're waiting for our guest, Sandy Ellsberg, to log on. Until she does, let's go to Alan in Oregon and see what he's up to. Hey, Alan, thanks for calling. You are live.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for answering.
Yeah, I'm happy to help.
Great. I feel very honored talking to you. So my questions are, which is probably something that's on the minds of everybody, is in a given day, what do you have for breakfast, and what do you have for lunch, and what do you have for dinner?
It's a great question. Well, and now the short answer is, I've got a short answer and a long answer. I'm going to give you both. Okay. Sandy Ellsberg just logged on, so I'm going to cut this short. Well, but so here's the deal. Anything that's not on the 10 bad food lists, I eat. Anything that's not on the 10 bad food list, I eat. And I have the great good fortune to be engaged, to be married, and my fiancée, my wife-to-be, is one of the most awesome cooks I've ever met. I mean, we're talking like culinary school stuff, man. I mean, really, to give you an example, a couple nights ago we had blended cauliflower, ham, and bacon soup to die for. On New Year's Day, we had gluten-free crepes. I mean, awesome stuff. We had beef bourguignon a couple nights ago, a really great French recipe. You can eat so unbelievably, awesomely well when you just eliminate the 10 bad foods that life is good. Generally for breakfast, it's bacon and eggs, or maybe some French toast, or maybe some gluten-free cereal with a whole bunch of fruit. I have 2 or 3 cups of coffee a day. Love it. Use whole milk with cream, half and half in the coffee. Used to be a honey nut, but I've noticed that honey makes me mucusy. It's interesting. Honey makes me mucusy, so I don't use that much honey anymore. Actually, I don't use any anymore. I use sugar in the raw to take the bitterness out of the coffee. But I'm telling you, man, once you've eliminated the 10 bad foods,
what about corn?
Well, the whole thing with corn is whether it's GMO or not, and it's hard to know whether it's GMO or not, right?
Well, yeah, I shop at like Trader Joe's where they do GMO-free stuff.
Well, there you go. Then life is good. The only other thing that corn can be problematic is the sugar content. So if you've got a problem with sugar metabolism, you want to lay low on that. But an ear of corn, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times a year, got no problem with that whatsoever. But here's the deal. Here's the deal. And this is worth understanding, right? Once you've eliminated the 10 bad foods and you've fully nutrified your body with the appropriate healthy pack, the only thing you need food for, the only thing, is calories to burn for energy, protein to help your body repair itself, and fat for your central nervous system. That's it. So you can eat an extremely calorie-restricted diet, live long and prosper, once you're on the longevity wagon. Dr. Wallach makes a joke out of this, by the way. Dr. Wallach says, once you've eliminated the 10 bad foods and you've nutrified yourself, I'm going to put you on the seafood diet. Whenever you see food, you can eat it. And it's like that.
One last question. All
right, go ahead, Alan.
Hey, what do you the other day I heard you mention that you were at the Christmas party or at your house and you ate the wrong stuff. Or no, you said that you had misordered on your getting your order. You were out 70% of your product.
Yeah.
Okay, what I want to know is what products do you take personally?
Oh, okay, here we go. That's easy. Well, I'm about 200 pounds, so I do 2 healthy blood sugar packs a month. 2 healthy blood sugar packs a month. I do 1 extra bottle of Cal Toddy a month because I've had a long-standing problem with calcium deficiencies my entire life, and Dr. Wallach, I think, saved my life. I do, so that's 3 ounces of liquid calcium a day that I throw down the hatch. Sometimes I do 4. I do 12 selenium a day. 4, 4, and 4. 12, that's 12. I do 4 bottles of selenium a month. Love it. Do 6 ultimate daily capsules a day. 6 ultimate daily capsules a day. And an ounce or 2 or 3, depending on the monthly budget, of Z-Radical. Love Z-Radical.
Now, you just said the ultimate daily capsules, but are you talking about the ultimate daily tabs?
Well, there's only, as far as I know, it's a hard-pressed tablet, and it's called Ultimate Daily.
Okay.
That's the name of the product. It's the only hard-pressed tab. Well, now Youngevity has Immortalium, which is another hard-pressed tab. But it's the only other hard-pressed tab that Youngevity has. It's called Ultimate Daily. I do six of those a day. And the first time I took those, well, now I think sometime in the first month when I took those, Mr. Macho, not paying attention, I can kill the world, right? I tried to swallow 3 of those all at once, and I practically died. They got stuck in my throat, and it was like, oh my God, I thought I was going to have to shoot myself. So if you take the Ultimate Daily capsules, do them one at a time. Thanks, Alan. I got to check out with my guest here. I appreciate your call. Keep up the good work, and I appreciate your help. Well, ladies and gentlemen, here we are. Sandy Ellsberg is in the house. Let me give you a little bit of a background for those of you not in the know. Sandy has a BA and an MA in education. She's a certified network marketing teacher at the University of Illinois right here in Chicago. Attendees for her MLM course include industry and government leaders from around the world. Sandy uses the very same skills to run her multi-million-dollar business that she applies to caring for her family. The inner qualities that today enable her to rival the annual income of some Fortune 500 execs are the very same qualities that once made her a dedicated and enthusiastic first-grade teacher in a Brooklyn ghetto. Although her dear friend and mentor, the late Jerry Rubin, often called her the queen of MLM, Sandy insists that everybody's entitled to royalty, and she'll gladly teach anyone who wants to learn exactly how to earn their own crown step by step. Regarding her trainings, Sandy says, I tell people a story about an ex-school teacher, 9 months pregnant with her second child, with swollen ankles the size of her thighs, with no health insurance and $250,000 in debt, who sets out in her beat-up VW van without heat, air conditioning, or a radio, and proceeds to earn over $11,000 during the month her baby arrives. I really treasure that story because it's mine, says Sandy, and I consider the number one asset in my business is my personal experience. Along the way, Sandy Ellsberg has authored several books, including the industry bestseller, Breadwinner, Bread Baker. She's also been a contributor to Upline Magazine, MLM Insider, Network Marketing Lifestyle, Spare Time, Working at Home, and Inspire America, and other key industry publications. Her rags to riches story is told in the pages of both Richard Poe's Wave 3, Burke Hedges' Who Stole the American Dream, and John Milton Fogg's The Greatest Networkers in the World. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor and my privilege to introduce Miss Sandy Ellsberg. Welcome aboard, Sandy.
Well, hello, my dear beloved friend, Dr. Glidden.
How are you,
Sandy? Thank you so much for such a well thought out introduction. I really appreciate it.
Well, we tell the truth here, Sandy. That's all we do. And, there's no more screwing around, no more pulling punches. This is 2014. Everybody on Team Glidden, everybody in Youngevity worldwide is set to make a big, big splash moving forward, here. I'm very excited to kick off the new year. This is only my second show of 2014, my second live show of 2014, and I couldn't think of a more appropriate guest than you to get the ball rolling. Now, here's how I want to start, Sandy. You've been involved with, 5 different MLMs over your lifetime?
7.
7. What made you choose Youngevity? I love this story. Tell people the story of what hooked you into Youngevity.
Well, it's a long story.
Well, we've got 3 minutes.
It's a long story. So here's the first part of it. I was looking for a holy grail. Being a holistic practitioner, I felt that if I wasn't going to be engaged in something that I could make my living by making a difference, where I could do well by doing good, I wasn't going to join a company just for making a residual income. It had to be a 4-legged horse. So the first leg of the horse is give me products I talk about if it didn't make me a buck. If those are there, then I'll look to see if that the compensation program isn't punishing and penalizing, filled with tricks, trials, and tribulations, hassles, hurdles, swimming upstream against the current in cold water with piranha. Okay. Now I got the 2 front legs of the horse, Dr. Glidden. Then I go to the back legs of the horse. Who owns the company? Is it morally congruent? Is it kind? Is it clean? Is it conscious? Does it make a difference? Does it have the science behind it, or is it just another one of those, I don't want to
flash in the pan.
Thank you, that I'll regret, but a thimble full of, some jungle juice and a quart of water, if it isn't that. And then the last leg is the leg of the systems and the teaching and the support. And it doesn't matter if that's a weak leg. If it's a weak leg, it's okay, because that's the one that I can bring to the table. So that's what I look for, and I wanted to make sure that I could run a race and get into the winner's circle and get that, blanket of roses. But if a leg is completely broken, you can't run a race. Right. And I've run 7 races with 1 or 2 legs. So there you have it. So this one passed the test, and of course I have the privilege. My dog. There's somebody at the door. I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
Let me see if I can. Give me 1 second, guys. See if I can. Okay. All right, and so the other piece of it was after I met Dr. Wallach, I felt that I was in a holy grail. I felt that something is like, are you kidding? Because I studied with Ann Wigmore and H.J. Riley, who did the 6,000 Edgar Casey readings, and I met Dr. Fulford, who's like, he fixed my daughter after she fell 18 feet in like 2 minutes. Yeah. So I've had some teachers, Robert A. Wood, who brought colon health to this nation. Yeah. And so I had like an experience of the holy grail in healing, but I wanted that same thing in network marketing, and I just didn't think it existed. And then I knew about Dr. Wallach because I listened to his tape I was like the second person to get it literally hot off the press.
All right, hold on to that thought. Hold on to that, Sandy Ellsberg. We're up against the hard break. We're going to listen to the whole story when we come back. It's a good one, folks. You want to know why the queen of MLM chose longevity? Stick around. This is what makes us the most effective MLM in the world. Don't even think about touching that dial. The website you want to check out, SandyEllsberg.com. That's S-A-N-D like David, Y-E-L-S like Sam, B like baby, E-R-G like Godfrey.com, SandyEllsberg.com. And if you are in any level of your relationship to an MLM, whether you're a rank beginner, whether you just signed up today, or whether you've been doing it for 30 years, you want to read her book, Breadwinner, Bread Baker. Breadwinner, Bread Baker. It's going to rock your world. You don't know what you don't know. And this is what we do. We help people to understand how to be effective. And nobody does it better than Sandy. Welcome back, Sandy. So, all right, so you're looking for an MLM. Now you've got the 4 legs. You've heard Dr. Wallach's CD. Then what happened?
Well, when I heard it the first time, I overnighted it to the company that I was with, and I said, I want to order 10,000 copies of this, and how do I do that? And is it okay? Is it legal? Because you have to get coded up for everything. And they sent back, and they said, we don't have the product. It would be an extension of labeling, so according to FDA, FTC, and all that stuff, I couldn't do it, couldn't send it out. And I said, well, go find them. What are we talking about here? So get them. And they didn't, and it was a big owie because another company didn't get them, but they used the tape, and they went from nothing to something huge overnight.
Yeah.
And all based on, totally all based on his, let me shut this off, totally based on his information. So when I went down to the home office, I never thought that it was even possible because I said, well, I'd be meeting him, and they said, probably not. He's on the road 300 days a year or that stuff. So I walk in the door, and the first person I meet is Dr. Wallach himself, and it was a humbling experience, to say the least. And he was very smart. He did something very clever with me, Dr. Glidden. He asked me to come to his Double Diamond retreat. Didn't say he was treating me, just asked me to come. And you don't say no to Doc Wallach. And so I went, and he asked me to sit down with Theo Ratliff. And Theo Ratliff was the #1 shot blocker, and that's a very funny story. I won't give you the long version because it'll take up the whole hour. But I didn't even know what a shot blocker was because I don't do sports. And I had 45 minutes to listen to his story and help him refine it and do a testimony the right way. And 3 hours later, I had a new friend. And I went home and I did everything that he did because he was a game over guy. He was a dead man walking. He would never walk on a court again, much less run on a court. And Dr. Wallach, when he met him, he said, Doc, can you help me? And Doc says, in his old fashion, the only way Doc knows how to do things, he goes, I'll match and raise you. So Theo goes, I said to him, did you think you were with a wackadoodle or an angel? He said, by the time I was done talking to him, I knew I got a gift of an angel. And basically all he was saying was, I'll put another. He had made $60 million by the age of 24, and Doc said, I'll give you another 60 plus.
Yeah.
And so he put him on the formula, bone and joint, triple the amount 3 times a day. He said, do it like a religion. I'll have you back up as number one guy. And he said, everybody says the same thing, right? How long, right? Everybody goes, is it weeks?
Yeah, I know. Tell me about it.
Yeah. How long? Like you're getting a Big Mac. How long? Am I going to wait in line? So Dr. Wallach said 1.5 years, and he did it like a religion. And 9 months later, he had bones of steel. Cartilage was grown back. And, the product assisted his body with the raw materials, of course. And he got a $42 million 4-year contract with the Portland Trailblazers.
And that beats a poke in the eye with a sharp stick.
Sure does.
Let me tell you something. So you see results. You see Dr. Wallach. You meet Dr. Wallach. I mean, anybody that meets Dr. Wallach in person, you got to love him. You got to be all in. Because really, I've never met anybody who has. Dr. Wallach to me is such an iconoclastic figure, and he's like a walking irony. Because number one, he's the most conservative person you'll ever meet. Number two, he's a short little white guy from the Midwest. Number three, he's forgotten more about medicine than any physician on the planet knows. Number four, he delivers unbelievably effective therapeutics for the masses, regardless of race, creed, color, socioeconomic group, and he sued the Food and Drug Administration for good times. Dr. Wallach, there are very few human beings who match in integrity Dr. Wallach, and that's what drove me to this company. Now, if we're coming up again against another hard break, ladies and gentlemen, stick around. We're going to be dialing it in nuts and bolts in the next 2 segments with Sandy Ellsberg, the queen of MLMs. She's going to tell us her secrets to success. Are there secrets to her success? I know there are. That's what we're going to be talking about when we come back. Stick around. It's the luckiest day of your life. You've tuned in to Fire Your MD Now. Stick around. If you wanted to open up a McDonald's, could find the money somehow to put down for your franchise down payment, McDonald's wouldn't even let you do it until you've attended Hamburger University for, 9 months, I think. You need instruction. Knowledge is power. You don't know what you don't know. Well, if you want to be successful at multi-level marketing, there's 2 things you can do. You can try to figure it out all on your own. You can waste decades. You can come up short over and over and over again until you finally dial it in. Or you can lean on the people who've done it before. Let them teach you. Let them hold your hand and show you the way to be successful. How to get your MBA, massive bank account in network marketing. It's a 5 CD and a 4-year workbook system developed by Sandy Ellsberg. How to get your MBA, massive bank account in network marketing. Check it out, sandyellsberg.com. That's SandyElsberg.com. All right, Sandy, now listen, let's get real here. You have been characterized, I think correctly, as the party plan queen. Now, how does that work? What does that mean? And how does that segue into longevity?
Well, for people who like to do parties, you have to like to, you have to love to, you have to really get to a place where you get to do it, not that you have to do it. A party is nothing more than really a glorified one-on-one presentation where it's just a full spread. If you're having people over, you clean your house, you make food, you decorate a little bit, and you prepare. you prepare for the event, and a home party is something that you prepare to do. I've done about, somewhere between 3,000 and 4,000 of them in my career. So basically, it's where you have a front end to the meeting and a back end to the meeting, and I like to do the same party for the same person if they're local, obviously, 4 times in a row. The first time I do the entire meeting, the second time they do the front half and I do the back half, the third time they do the back half, and hopefully they have a distributor who's going to do the front half, and I just do the close and stick around and show them how to do the whole back end. That's where the fortune is. And then on the 4th time, I really can't talk because I have laryngitis, but I'm there to observe. So they're on their own pretty much. Yeah. And this way, it's all really about hand-holding and letting people know that they're in business for themselves but not by themselves, because that's what everybody's looking for. It's really overcoming the fear factor. And partnership does that.
Yeah, well, that's what network marketing is all about. It's all about in developing personal relationships and helping people to do what they don't know how to do, but what it's easy for them to do. And this is really, when we dial it all in the final analysis, the simpler the system that we can bring to the table, the better. The simpler the system that we can bring to the table, the better. So from your point of view, what is the simple system that people should apply as they're moving down the road with their longevity business?
Well, when you say a simple system, you mean for the whole enchilada? We're not talking about home parties now, right?
Yeah, the whole enchilada, yeah.
Well, the whole enchilada is basically mastering 4 to 6 tools and using them on a daily plus weekly basis. And there's so many tools in the tool belt that the system is always one of, is it duplicatable? If it's not, it has to be the same for the doctor as it is for Sally Homemaker Joe Tow Truck. So it's the same system. It doesn't change because somebody has more money or more clouds or they're a CFO versus a plumber. It's the same. And the system is simply mastering the tools. If there's people doing the webinars, get on them. If there's somebody doing the conference calls to bring new people to, you get on them. So a webinar is a tool, and especially other people doing it for you, because it's always about other people's talents, time, energy, it's all other people. Network marketing is not you, it's other people, other people's time, talent, tenacity, other people's testimonies, other people's energy, enthusiasm, other people's assets and attitude and altitude and all that good stuff. And then again, other people's money, momentum, magic. It's all of it. So it's about building a team using 4 to 6 tools, as I said, hourly, daily, weekly, and monthly. So the tools that I personally like are sampling, and that's what the Whole Bag Lady book is about, Britt Baker. It's how to be locked and loaded all the time, and being able to use the marketplace to your advantage. The second tool is do a home party once or twice a week. I did them when I was hungry, really hungry, working on keeping a roof over my head. I home partied Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And the home parties turned into meetings, hotel room meetings in its second year, one in San Diego, one in Orange County, one in L.A., and then one in San Francisco. So I was out every night of the week doing, instead of a home party, it became a hotel meeting. So you don't do a hotel meeting until you have 100 people to put into it. Right. And then the other tool that I love, obviously between home parties, sampling, in conference calls and webinars, is I'm a trade show person, but that's a once-a-month thing. But as you do it once a month with your team, it's the best training ground that there is in the history of network marketing. When you're going in with your team of 4 to 6 to 8 to 10 to 20 to 30, 40 people, once you've mastered that, you then show up at trade shows that other people are doing. You're no longer doing all the schlepping, the setup and the breakdown. Your team is doing it, and you're there to support them and just help them reach building relationships at a higher, faster, quicker, bigger, better, best level. So now, that's like the broad brush.
All right, good. So now, because longevity is mostly, a health centrist, multi-level marketing business, What trade shows did you find most advantageous to plug into?
I always went to the holistic ones. So anything where people were already connected to health, because all the companies that I was with were all about health. So
Right.
I don't want to reinvent the wheel. I don't want to convince a mind against its will or to, push a wet noodle across the table. If you're into health, I'm going to show you great health.
Yeah, it's funny because I remember, I've been to hundreds of trade shows in my life, and I remember once I was at a home improvement trade show here in the Chicago suburbs, and there were a couple of chiropractors there, and there were people from, other MLMs there doing health stuff, and it just seemed such a disconnect. It seemed like just the wrong venue. It just didn't seem to make sense to me that these people should be there. And I guess you can make the argument that people are sick and suffering all everywhere, and it doesn't really matter what venue you're in. But you're the expert, and I tend to agree it sounds more congruent that if you're going to give a lot of time and energy and money and trouble into showing up at a trade show, you might as well be talking to an already half-enrolled crowd.
Yes, but when you lead, can I not contradict you, but just improve what you were saying, Dr. Glidden, is if you are at a trade show that is not holistically oriented, health oriented, if you're going in with a product like Rebound, that's going to take, everybody's looking for energy. Doesn't matter who you are. Doesn't matter where you're walking. If you're able to give somebody something better than 5-hour energy that won't jack them up and crash them down, but will give them a nice sustainable lift that increases their ability to think, their stamina, their recovery time, their mental acuity. If you're able to do that, it doesn't matter. You could be standing at, anywhere. It doesn't matter. You can be standing at the door of hell and people say, hey, can I grab that on the way in? So as long as you're doing an exchange of information, because it's a gift to them, it's not a gift to you, you can do business anywhere. And the trade show only takes one great person for each member of your team. Because what a trade show really does is an ability to break down and break through the fear of speaking to people and connecting and flubbering and making mistakes. And by the second or third day of the trade show, you're like silk. But in the beginning, you may sound like the stuttering Bible salesman. So it's just a question of practice makes perfect, and having people around you to coach you and to stand next to somebody like myself or yourself at a trade show. Imagine what that would be like for somebody's fear factor. And so when they're done with that, they can do what I call a mini trade show anywhere. And a mini trade show is just setting up a table wherever you want to set it up, whether it's at a fitness center, whether it's a mom-and-pop health food store, whether it's a beauty salon, whether it's at an art fair. It could be, someplace where you pay $25 to put up a 4x6, and you're in business. It's not about, you never do a trade show ever unless you're completely experienced, because that's the most expensive real estate in the world of network marketing, is traveling, setting up, breaking down, paying for the union people to help you, and the cost of a booth, which can run between $5,000 down to $500. Right. Once you do one of those, and it's the best place to start, it could be a farmer's market. Start at a farmer's market where they charge you maybe $100 or $50 for the day. And that would be my recommendation. You can't beat it. It's phenomenal.
Now, with longevity, doing trade shows, or whether it's a big event or whether it's a small farmer's market event, do you think it's more advantageous to lead with the health opportunity or to lead with the wealth opportunity, or how does that shake down?
Yes. The answer is yes.
The answer is yes, both.
Yes, because we're all in network marketing. If we're in as a distributor building, we're doing it for the sustainable residual income. Period. That's why we're here. That's why we're doing it. Otherwise, we'd just be a glorified customer.
Right.
So the fact that we're doing it to have a living without having a job. So what we have here is an opportunity to start off by getting our product for free and moving into freedom. And so the way you do that is by figuring out, again, going back to the basics, as we just said a moment ago, is what tools are we going to use day in and day out. The biggest key to the business is being prepared, and that's what Breadwinner Brett Baker is all about. It's a $15 book that's worth $1.5 million. And so in getting your bag ready and being able to go out everywhere with your samples, with your CDs, with a DVD, whether it's I always have 4 CDs in my bag. And the first CD that I have is Best of Dead Doctors 2. The second CD that I have is Who Made MDs King. The third CD I have is Healing is Easy. And the fourth CD that I have varies. It's usually a little selection inside of a Ziploc of a half a dozen of the ones from Dr. Wallach.
Woohoo! Dr. Glidden 50% in Sandy Ellsberg's bag, baby. Come on now, ladies and gentlemen. You're hearing it right here from the horse's mouth.
So I like the fact that I have a half a dozen to 10 CDs there. So let's say I meet somebody who is an athlete, and I have Dead Athletes Don't Lie. So I have one of those in there. So I have a little selection of meeting the moment in the middle.
Yeah.
And that's how I roll. And of course, with the sample, if it's pollen burst, I have the pollen burst brochure. If it's rebound, I have the rebound comparison sheet. CM cream, I happen to have a CM brochure. So lucky me. And no matter what I do, after I'm done doing it, I always say, do you have any pain? I don't care who it is. Do you have any pain anywhere? Neck pain, shoulder pain, ankle pain? Just keep it clean. Have any pain? And I'll slap on some of that CM cream, and bam, I just got an add-on.
Oh, you got to love it.
Yeah, so it's just the simplest thing. I mean, there was a time when Steve Wallach and Richard Renton, I was doing the anti-aging show, and they came to watch me work, and they said, oh, my God. I mean, I was telling doctors, walk away, and I'll see you later. No, you know you won't. I went, yeah. I would say, yeah, I will. You're just closed-minded, but in 15 minutes, I'm going to make you beg to buy this.
Well, you got to love it. Ladies and gentlemen, we're ramping it up this afternoon. Stick around. We're going to finish out today's show with Sandy Ellsberg when we come back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Finishing out today's show, January 3rd, 2014, with one of the greats in network marketing, Sandy Ellsberg. Welcome back, Sandy. Now, folks, it's a patently male metaphor, but you wouldn't go to war with an empty ammunition, with no ammunition. You wouldn't be in a race with a car with an empty gas tank. So what Sandy's telling us is, in the wonderful world of network marketing, you have to be armed and ready. You have to be prepared with a bag of tricks, because who needs your help? Everybody needs your help. Maybe it's the mother of an autistic child. Maybe it's an 80-year-old woman with arthritis. Maybe it's an NBA superstar. Maybe you don't know. You have no idea. So forewarned and forearmed is best moving forward. And Sandy, I'm a stickler for words. One of my favorite quotes here from, it's an Inuit quote, words do not label things that are already there. Words are like the knife of the carver. They free the idea, the thing, from the general formlessness of the outside. As a person speaks, not only is his or her language in a state of birth, but also the very thing about which they are talking. Now, one of my pet peeves in network marketing is the term closing. Oh, we close people. No, we don't. We do not close people. We open people up to the possibilities that they did not know existed. And that's what gets me so very excited about being involved in network marketing, especially with longevity.
Yeah, here. Well, closing is a coffin, opening is a flower.
I've never heard that. I like that. Closing is a coffin, opening is a flower.
And when the risk of staying tight as above, people stay closed in because it's like the bud. But when you finally give it up and allow, it's less energy to flower than it is to stay a bud. Much less energy. And so the only thing I can liken network marketing to is the lotus flower. The deeper in mud you are, the closer you are to success.
And it is called network marketing. We have to work. And one of my favorite
we don't
sayings...
have to. I want to correct that. We get
All right,
to.
Go ahead.
We get to, because it's about a passion. And if you're not part of the fellowship of the passion of network marketing, if you're not in that groove of getting seriously excited and so turned on, if you need somebody else to blow up your balloon, then this is not your deal. It's not for everybody. You can stay a glorified customer. Dr. Wallach's for everybody, but putting a financial wall around your life is for the people who see it, for the people who get it, for the people whose banner is clear.
So it's not work because you want to do it. And when you're doing what you love, it's not work. And the more that you do it correctly, the more you're going to love it. And if you're moving through this type of business with passion and with heart, then it's not like work at all.
Exactly.
Well, this is how we succeed, and this is why we love you, Sandy Ellsberg, because you really, you're the estrogen shot that this patently male-dominated multi-level marketing scene so desperately needs. One of the things that moves me forward here, one of the things that keeps me getting up and getting out of bed every morning is my passion to help people work with their health and to realize the simple solutions that we bring to the table. And it's just, I have to tell you, it's a pleasure to finally find somebody in the world of network marketing, especially in longevity, who I feel is a kindred spirit, because you've been holding down the banner of holistic medicine for longer than I have. And then you parlayed that into a multi-level marketing thing, and as far as I'm concerned, that's just genius. I wish I'd known about these strategies 20 years ago, but like the fella said, if wishes were fishes, we'd all cast nets. Sandy Ellsberg, I could have you on every day, but for goodness sake, we're out of time. Where does the time go? Ladies and gentlemen, check her website out, sandyellsberg.com, sandyellsberg.com. That's ELSBERG.com. Sandy, thank you so much. I appreciate it very much. I look forward to seeing you at some time in the future.
Thank you, Dr. Glidden, and God bless you for all the good you do in the world.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, we're dialing it in here. We're moving forward at a rapid rate in 2014, batten down the hatches. We're coming to town. I'm Dr. Peter Glidden, God willing, back in the saddle on Monday. Until then, live long and prosper.